push all you want. Go on and try. I ain't snapping. Not today. Mojen żegnam was. They tighten the noose with the rules in their lives, pointing their fingers while they're dead in the eyes. They chant in unison, fall in line, obey. But I'm a storm in the system and I won't fade away. They forged the cage, called it peace of mind. Peace of mind, my spine. But I'd rather bleed out than be redesigned. I carry the weight, I felt the quake. Still here, still awake. Still I stand my ground, make no mistake. Shove me, chain me, tell me what I ain't. I ain't your slave. I'll take the hit and give it back without restraint. Hit you back. I've been not break, not break. You can pull, you can break, but I'm some talking. I've been not break, not break. I've been scarred by the world, but my mind stays awake. Still awake. I've been not break, not break. You can scream in my face, but you won't dominate. You won't know. I've been not break, like won't break. They dress the pressure up in smiles and fame. Fake smile. Sell you a script and tattoo your name. Name on the chain. They want a puppet that can't think or feel. Cut the string. But I was born to bite down on the steel. Like the steel. I've tasted doubt, I've swallowed the flame. But alive. I'm built on backlash and I don't play tame. Never tame. Every shove they give just sharpens my spine. Mine of iron. I won't fold, this will always be mine. Mine to define. Push me, blame me, tell me what to be. You don't know me. But I'll burn every chain before it buries me. Burn it down. I've been not break, not break. You can pull, you can press, but I won't suffocate. Can't suffocate. I've been not break, not break. I've been scarred by the world, but my mind stays awake. Still awake. I've been not break, not break. You can scream in my face, but you won't dominate. You won't know me. I've been not break, won't break. Ben, don't break me. Try me. Ben can't fake me. Can't mold me. Ben, go and take me. Take your shot, but I won't. Won't break. Won't break. I've bent in the...
Everything runs through this.
We must shut down the core to destroy the beast.
I've been not break, not break. You can pull, you can press, but I won't suffocate. Can't suffocate. I've been not break, not break. I've been scarred by the world, but my mind stays awake. Still awake. I've been not break, not break. You can scream in my face, but you won't dominate. You won't know. I've been not break, won't break. Test me. Keep trying. I won't break.
What just happened? What just happened? Hello?
Yes, sir, man. You already know what it is. We are back here searching no game on the ground from Hungry Hounds. I just got the pound and ready for the next round. Hold on, give me a sec. Bullshit, being stupid. There we go. All right. So, with that being said, y'all can see the title of this episode, this live, whatever you want to call it, Candace Owens investigation into Charlie Kirk. I will say, I'm gonna start this off that SORA came out with an update that has added a whole 5 seconds onto their generated videos, which is lit. So now it's 15 seconds instead of 10. Let's go. But with that being said, y'all can expect more content As far as SORA goes, I'm gonna be pumping out content after content, bro. That's just how it goes. So, with that being said, now that we got that out the way, let me go ahead and get this added up on here real quick, and then we can jump into it. Boom. Go ahead and change this. All right. Heading this up to the stage. All right, and 3, 2, 1. Let's get it.
Own petard. That's an expression, obviously, that we use a lot. And I have this thing where I always have to go back and research and figure out why we use common expressions, because nobody actually thinks about those things anymore. Well, this one is pretty obvious. It refers to when soldiers would use a petard, essentially a bucket-shaped explosive device packed with gunpowder, effectively a bomb, to blow up the gates and wall fortifications of their enemies. They'd light the fuse, and sometimes they would be hoisted by their own bombs. And that's exactly what is happening right now to Josh Hammer. For weeks after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Josh Hammer obsessively and shamelessly accused people of lying, people of grifting, people of attempting to destroy Charlie Kirk's legacy. Charlie Kirk was his friend, he claimed rather maniacally. That Charlie never once flinched on the topic of Israel. He died just loving Israel. It was like, are you kidding me? That's all he cared about. Check out just some of these tweets, by the way. This is a collage. We just don't have all day here to gather crazy Josh Hammer tweets, but you get the idea. There is a repulsive op right now to hijack Charlie Kirk's legacy. There is a repulsive op right now desecrating Charlie's memory by trying to posthumously convert him to Groiperism. Can't believe there's something known as Groiperism. I was given access to this letter a few months ago, and I read it at that time. Tucker, Candace, and other bad faith actors are lying through their teeth about Charlie and Israel. Candace Owens and other grifters, you get that back up for a quick second. Candace Owens and other grifters are trying to posthumously rewrite and hijack the legacy of the great Charlie Kirk to further their patently evil ends. There has been a repulsive op. The reality is simple. Charlie was a great. Like, it's weird that he keeps repeating that sentence. Like I said, maniacal, obsessed. And of course, in the comfort of his own derangement and with the full support of the press and the silence of Charlie's other quote unquote friends, Josh was really acting the part of a true Pharisee. He was certain that the truth would not rise again. He was so confident that he had killed it and that he could himself hijack the legacy of Charlie Kirk. Except the truth did kind of rise again. It kind of always does rise again. And the world now knows that Josh Hammer had personal, intimate knowledge that Charlie's views were changing. He lied about the Hamptons meeting. I told you the truth from day one. Seth Dillon and Josh were personally upset with Charlie's defiance against the state of Israel. Seth Dillon was the more vocal of the two parties in the Hamptons, as I said, in terms of actually pressing Charlie, but both of them were upset about the way that they saw his viewpoints shifting. And Tucker was therefore correct at Charlie Kirk's memorial. It was definitely the correct analogy when he spoke about these sorts of individuals who plot and lie and think that they are going to be successful in, well, murdering the truth in the story of Jesus Christ. Take a listen.
Charlie would have loved this, not just because he loved large groups of people, but because ultimately he was a Christian evangelist. And it actually reminds me of my favorite story ever. So it's about 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, and Jesus shows up and he starts talking about the people in power, and he starts doing the worst thing that you can do, which is telling the truth about people, and they hate it. And they just go bonkers. They hate it. And they become obsessed with making him stop. This guy's got to stop talking. We've got to shut this guy up. And I can just sort of picture the scene in a lamplit room with a bunch of guys sitting around eating hummus, thinking about what do we do about this guy telling the truth about us? We must make him stop talking. And there's always one guy with the bright idea, and I can just hear him say, I've got an idea, why don't we just kill him? That'll shut him up. That'll fix the problem. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Everything is inverted, and the Beatitudes tell it, I think, the most crisply. Everything is sort of the opposite of what you think it's going to be.
And you know, it's funny because you would think that throughout history, the amount of times that has happened, how it's backfired, you would think that people would actually learn from that. You would think people would learn that actually killing somebody who's speaking about something that you don't like isn't going to silence them, it only makes them louder. But these goofballs don't. These goofballs don't actually pay attention to history. They just think, oh man, we got to get him to stop speaking. And it's goofy because they think, well, eventually people will stop talking about it. Eventually people will stop thinking about it. But there's always going to be people out there who talk about it, always going to be people out there who think about it. You will never, when the truth finally starts floating around in the air and people listen to it, they grab a hold of it and they digest it, it never goes away. It doesn't, no matter how hard you try. And these goofballs just don't seem to understand that.
That is a fact. It will always be the opposite of what you think it's going to be when you are attacking people who are telling the truth. And the truth is that it is now an established fact, like I said, that Josh Hammer knew that Charlie Kirk's perspectives on Israel were changing. And since that announcement, Twitter users pointed out a very strange tweet that Josh Hammer hit send on 16 hours before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. For no apparent reason at all, he retweeted something that President Donald Trump had sent a full 12 years ago about public executions. Here it is. Here is that retweet. Trump wrote on April 19th, 2013, should be public execution for all to see. You will end this bull fast. And Josh Hammer just replies and says, based. You can see we are in Central Time, so that's about 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, what is the justification for this? There might be one. I tried in earnest to at first rationalize it, right? What could have been going on that Josh Hammer decided to dig through the 2013 Twitter archives and retweet someone calling for a public execution? Well, I'll let one of the many Zionist PR agents explain it first. Yashar Ali, who, like I said, is quite literally paid to do PR for Zionists. I know this personally on the right and on the left. Tried to explain it away by kind of lying, I would say. He tried to claim definitively that Josh was referring to the criminal who horrifically murdered the Ukrainian refugee, Irina Zarutska, in North Carolina. That was obviously a big story in the beginning of September. Yashar Ali wrote this. Last night, Candace Owens tweeted notorious neo-Nazi Sam Parker, who pointed out that Josh Hammer, who is Jewish and was a friend of Charlie Kirk's, elevated a Trump tweet from 2013 the day before, which called for public executions. Candace, of course, would like people to believe that Josh's quote tweet is suspicious in the context of the assassination of Charlie Kirk. But Josh was just sharing what many conservatives were sharing and stating the day before. That's because they were talking about the horrific murder of Irina Zarutska. This is where I say that no civilized nation uses the death penalty, in parentheses, referring to his own thoughts. Now, another user then jumped on that and tried to establish a non-fact that the footage of Irina's murder was released on that day, on the night, and that's why Josh tweeted that. All of this is factually untrue, okay? Irina was murdered on August 22nd. Her perpetrator was arrested that same day, and the footage was released and trended on X on September 5th. Josh himself sent multiple tweets regarding the homicide, as everyone did, because, like I said, it was trending. And when he was asked specifically about punishment, criminality, perhaps that her perpetrator should face, Josh, at no point that I could determine, whether he was on the news, whether he was on his own show or anywhere else, did he speak about the death penalty or, a public execution. Instead, as you will see, we will show you Josh in his own words, he spoke about the double standards surrounding the media coverage of her murder and really the topic of criminality more broadly and safety in America. Take a listen to what Josh said.
Gabrielle, I'm a lawyer by training. I remember my first year of law school back in 2013 when I was taking criminal law. This is kind of the beginning of kind of the left's kind of foray into so-called criminal justice reform. And even back then, there's a lot of chatter among my more liberal classmates about how, incarceration and prisons and locking people up, how all of it is just racist. It's kind of like it is an old kind of symbol of a white patriarchal, colonialist, imperial society there, and how the ultimate goal is basically to defund the prisons. And then, if some people are going to commit some violent crimes, essentially let the chips fall where they may. Well, this is letting the chips fall where they may. But most American people have not lost their minds. Most American people stand where Donald Trump stands, which is that they want basic safety. And
I don't disagree that we all want basic safety. I just don't hear him. And like I said, I've looked for it ever even calling for the death penalty in those days that were leading up. So I decided to do what I always do. Rather than say what he definitely meant or what he didn't mean, I decided to just create a micro timeline of Josh Hammer's tweets. And it gets pretty interesting on September 9th, the day before Charlie Kirk's assassination. This is what Josh Hammer tweeted. He tweeted a total of 9 times on September 9th. And you can gather what was going on that day from his tweets. He wakes up at 7:30 A6, or rather pushes the first tweet at 7:36 a.m., and he tweets about a viral Phillies crowd scandal. This is in Eastern Standard Time, by the way. Right after that,
you say went up 6 units on prize picks. Man, I seen that. Well, I was getting notification after notification and shit cashing. That's crazy. That's good shit.
He tweets a link, the one that I just showed you, to his media appearance about Irina Zarutska, where he does not call for the death penalty or anything close to the death penalty. 9:23 a.m., he tweets against Tucker Carlson because he has to do that at least twice a day, or I don't feel like he can get on with his day. 9:29 a.m., he tweets in favor of Israel and throws shade at Trump and Qatar, and that all of this is related to what went on September 9th, which is that Israel bombed Qatar for no reason, violating international law, which they tend to do a lot. But he, of course, was in favor of what they were doing. And so he throws shade at Trump and Trump's relationship with Qatar, because I guess it would be okay for them to violate international law if Trump wasn't friends with Qatar or something. 11:33 a.m., he tweets against Saudi Arabia because they came out and made a statement against what Israel had done. So he tweets against Saudi Arabia. And then at 3 o'clock p.m., he tweets against Tucker Carlson for telling the truth about Israel and 9/11. Again, he has to do that a couple of times a day. It's part of his ritual. 5:58 p.m., he tweets about the Hebrew Bible being the basis of Western civilization alongside a speech that he had given. Tweets a link out. Again, promoting himself. 5:59 p.m., he tweets a promotion of his media appearance regarding a Supreme Court decision. And then there's this 3-hour break. He puts his phone down. Maybe this is a 3-hour break where he speaks to Charlie Kirk. I don't know, but I know that he speaks to Charlie Kirk at night. And then at 9:09 p.m., again, we're talking Eastern, Josh Hammer tweets in favor of public execution, and there's no context that is provided. So anybody telling you he for sure meant this or he for sure didn't mean this is a liar. We cannot know that. We cannot know Josh Hammer's thoughts. A couple of things that I want to point out. Josh is not saying in that tweet that he's calling for the death penalty. People calling for the death penalty, debating the death penalty is a very common political debate. It's a very common political talking point. It is absolutely not a typical or a regular political talking point or debate regarding public executions. We don't talk about that often. It's an exceedingly specific ask, right? Usually reserved to a visceral response to something that you have seen and in the moment, right? Matt Walsh, actually, when we were prepping the show, I said, I will guarantee you that when that footage got dropped, which was on September 5th, 4 days earlier, Matt Walsh would have tweeted, this person should be publicly executed. And by the way, he did. He did. He said, we can't keep living like this. The only solution is ruthless punishment, public execution for violent criminals, long prison sentences, hard labor. This guy had multiple previous arrests. He should have already been serving 30 years in a labor camp. This is the only way, as our ancestors knew. We've tried compassion and restorative justice, and this is the result. It was inevitable. So Matt Walsh then went on his show and further explained that already contextualized tweet, and he explained how men have a visceral response when you see somebody being victimized, a woman being victimized in that way that Irina was. So we decided for good measure that we should check to see if maybe it was something regular that Josh Hammer also spoke about, which is public executions. And I can tell you that it is not something that Josh Hammer regularly tweets about or discusses. The first time that he tweeted about a public execution was back in 2013. And he said it in reference, in 2022. And he said it in reference to the Boston Marathon bombing terrorist attack. The Uvalde shooter. The Uvalde shooter is apparently dead, but just as with the Buffalo shooter, this level of pure evil would have been another ideal time for a public execution. So, to be clear, that makes sense, right? He is in the moment, and he is saying, I'm having a visceral reaction to the idea of another school being shut out, having another school shooting, and for that reason, I am saying that this would have been an appropriate scenario for a public execution. Emotions are running high. You are visceral, and you're learning things. You're seeing and you're learning those things in the moment. As I said, that would make sense in its context. I also want to remind you that Josh Hammer is a lawyer by training. He was at one point the editor-at-large of the Daily Wire, and he is currently the senior editor-at-large at Newsweek's. Plus, he hosts his own show. My point that I'm making here is he knows how to communicate, okay? This is not some random guy on Twitter who doesn't know that if you haven't tweeted all day about something, you can't just throw out tweets about public executions without contextualize them, right? He certainly understands you don't just send out a standalone tweet at 9 o'clock p.m. and everyone's just going to go, what are you referring to? He knows the public is not going to comprehend what he means outside of him providing some further context. And I will also add here that it is not particularly helpful that Josh Hammer as an individual is obsessively angry. He is an incredibly angry little man. You can read through his tweets. He has openly expressed bigoted and prejudiced opinions against white people. Okay? He does not view himself to be a white person. He views himself to be a separate race, Jewish. That is a fact, and it wasn't a long time ago. We don't have to go back to 2013 to hear his ideas on that. Here is a tweet from him in 2019 that he then erased regarding white people. Here's what he said. Jew hatred is inherent in the European DNA. Okay? Just like it's inherent. You're just inherent. If you're white, you're inherently guilty. You're inherently an anti-Semite. It's just you're born this way. It's just in your DNA. It's incredible. He said that. And in response, we were told that he meant it metaphorically, which kind of metaphor. can you run that tweet again? And just, I do know a little bit about metaphors and similes, and I'm not feeling, Jew hatred is inherent in European DNA. How's that for a metaphor, guys, for you? Because I thought metaphor might be fire hair to describe somebody who's red-headed. Oh no, it's not literally fire. It's fire red. No, I don't think a metaphor would be saying explicitly and literally that hating Jews is inherent inside of white people. I think it's amazing that he's even allowed, like there's just no consequence. It's like, well, editor at large in Newsweek, what are you gonna do? It's fine, you can hate white people, we all know that, it's fine, totally fine. Anyways, that's what he thinks about you guys, full stop. And people are maybe perhaps because of that, because of how he regularly treats people and how he regularly attacks people and how vicious he is, are not feeling particularly charitable towards him, especially having been exposed as somebody who lied so audaciously and boldly and repeatedly and unnecessarily about the pressure that Charlie was under, pressure which Josh Hammer was a part of applying in the weeks and then in the hours leading up to Charlie Kirk's death. Saddens me that Charlie was stressed and Charlie was worried, and that the very people that were stressing him out and making him have that sense of anxiety and worry, then you eulogized him and lied about all that. Why lie? That's the part that the public does not understand. How can we then trust a person that lies in that way? The natural thing is for us to then wonder, what else is Josh lying about? Would we trust if Josh came out and said that tweet was definitely about Irina? Other people pulled Trump tweets. Some did, pulled that very tweet and called for a public execution. Would you trust Josh if he came out and said, I know I didn't contextualize it, and I know all day I was tweeting about Israel, but that one was about Irina? Don't forget, he proudly went around and he promoted to everyone that would listen that he spoke to Charlie the night before he died, probably in that 3-hour window. He bragged that he and Rabbi Walicki had a Zoom call with Charlie. Why? Because they said Charlie wanted them to help him with his talking points about Israel. Now, I have to say, Charlie was one of the most skilled debaters ever, like literally ever. Any person that I have seen actually debating on stage, I learned my debate cues from Charlie Kirk. So it is very new to me to think that they scheduled this call because he was in need of tips on debating from a rabbi over in Israel and Josh Hammer. But let's be real, I have no proof to the contrary because I wasn't on the Zoom call. And Josh made it clear multiple times that in his last conversation with Charlie, above anything else, was really interested in Josh's book. So much so that in his literal first tweet, after news broke that Charlie had in fact died, Josh manages to bring up his book. I'm not kidding. Here's his tweet. He writes this: I am speechless, devastated, and heartbroken. We spoke less than 24 hours ago. Charlie joked how he was going to plug my book on this very tour. He was a unique force, a generational leader. Pray for Charlie's beautiful wife and their young children. Rest in peace, warrior. And as you saw yesterday, Josh never forgets to plug his book. He never once forgot to plug his book. A few days after Charlie's death, he went on.
Man, I'm just say this right here. Not gonna lie, I feel like I'm kind of getting brain fucked. I don't know if y'all feel the same way, but that's how I feel right now. But it's crazy to think that it's already been over a month since Charlie's gone. It's crazy. And it's like now, it's like nobody's really talking about it now. Like, I'm sure if you go and search it up, you'll find people talking about it. But just on the surface level, there's nobody really talking about it no more. Which is crazy how quiet that goes. I don't know, man. It's crazy. But with that being said, because I feel like I'm getting my brain just scrambled, we're gonna come check out something else. We're gonna leave this here for now, because honestly I don't know what she's talking about, and I don't understand what she's talking about either. Maybe my mind is just too like goofy right now to understand. Maybe I just genuinely don't understand it, or maybe it's because I don't know, I'm not somebody that does, deep dive journalism shit. I don't know. Who knows? But with that being said, what I can say is we're gonna check out something else, something goofy, something light. I've noticed a lot of these goofy clips lately, and I definitely want to check these out because I think they're funny. So we're gonna be looking at some of the goofiest clips that people have made with SORA. I'm gonna change that. I don't know why the hell that's acting like that. I don't like that. But anyways. I guess that's better. I don't know. This should be switching up sometimes. But anyways, with that being said, yeah.
In the case of the black puppy, you are not the father. Whoa! Hey, let's settle down. Let's settle down, please.
You know why I pulled you over? You're free to go.
This is what I'm saying, bro. People making the wildest stuff with this. You can't make this up, bro. You can't make this up. Look at this.
No!
That is crazy, bro. That is crazy work.
Hell yeah, my guy! हाँ थोड़ा फास्ट करो भाई हो गया देखो गरम गरम आ रहा है ऑयल साउंड क्रिस्प हो गया बस और 2 मिनट अच्छा भाई
Do a kickflip.
I've seen this.
You think Santa leaves bikes for kids who don't make their beds? Wrong! Discipline is the first gift you unwrap in this house. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Louder. I can't hear through those tears.
Don't let the ashes speak. Set the ground from under my feet. Can't break me, I fight back harder. This is the South. In the case of the 3 kittens, you are not the father.
Look at it.
Out, you see the center of your screen topped out at about 45 miles an hour, being driven by a woman the Highway Patrol describes as extremely heavy set, wearing nothing but a pink
That's
bathing suit. 2
disgusting,
CHP units
bro.
are right.
Hardcore parkour! Hardcore parkour! Hardcore parkour! Hardcore parkour! Hardcore parkour!
And this is why fat people should not be doing stuff like this.
Hardcore parkour! Oh.
Oh my God, Jason, no! Woo! Jason, stop! Get off it! Jason! Jason! Let go! Let go!
Pero vas a poder con eso. Vamos, vamos. ¿Qué pedo? Aguas, aguas. Muévanse, muévanse.
Todo bien, todo bien.
Yo, that's crazy work, bro. There's no way.
Look at the speed from number 14 in the line shirt, already charging!
Massive wobble, he's off wheelchair over the top, he's tumbling! Cheese is away! Look at the speed it's gathering! Orange 7 in front, oh, Hughes Bounce is keeping out run, no, he's got it! Cheers launch! Oh! The green jersey goes wheeling! Black tack is... They're off, the cheese is flying, look at the speed on that wheel! There goes the cheese! They're off! Look at the speed on those chairs, he's out in front already! And they're off! Look at the speed from number 52! He's right on the cheese! Blue 17 gained it! Oh, yellow! Look at the speed on the red! It's charging! He's off! Benedict Blue wobbles! He's gone over! First spin of the day! Huge crash! And the cheese is away! Look at the speed! Red jersey's chasing off!
Believe it or not, this is, I don't remember exactly where it's at. It's in some country, I don't remember. But it's like some type of, I don't know if it's a sport or if it's like a competition type thing or celebration type thing or what. But they be getting up on this real steep hill, and somebody rolls a roll of cheese down there, and people slide down the hill and roll down the hill and tumble down the hill and all types of stuff, bro. It's crazy.
And they're off. The cheese is flying, and look at the pace of number 12. He is hurt. Oh, he kicks him off. He's over. Chair outside.
Coming in with a big strike to the Oxer.
He's still in the tag, but it's loose.
Whoa, easy boy.
Somehow he saved it.
And he's off.
Heavy fall there.
Good jump over the first, keeps the rails up.
He's slipping.
Hanging on by his knees.
Right left. Oh, he holds it together. Next is the yellow Oxer. Watch the ball.
Here they go to the vertical. Nice jump there, clear.
He's up on the stirrups, arms out, showing off an incredible level of confidence. Coming to the green vertical now, good pace.
Nice jump, clean.
Heading for the Oxer.
Oh, clip that rail, he's still on.
Moving toward the Oxer. Good rhythm so far.
Oh, and the horseback's off. Whoa, rider unseated.
Can you imagine seeing people of this size actually doing stuff like this, bro? That would be crazy.
Coming to the first vertical now. He'll want us.
Coming to the blue vertical now. Up. Oh, he gets over it. Big effort from the horse.
Big effort.
First vertical now, good takeoff. Oh, he manages to keep it up. Bit of a wobble on landing. Oh my God. Dude, what is this? Holy rat. It's a huge rat.
Please.
It's coming this way.
Everyone back, back.
No, it's idiot.
Einstein loading up. Look at that coil. Crack. Oh my word. Newton's rocked. He's falling. He's out. Einstein with the knockout.
Oh my God, look at that. He's holding the dog.
What's going to take it? The monkey's got him.
Look at the strength on it.
Come on, little guy. Hang in there.
Hell nah, I know you're not screaming at me. I'm finna whoop your ass.
That's a valid reaction right there.
At Palantir, we believe visibility is love. That's why this Pride Month, our Gotham Eye platform is bringing rainbow clarity to every corner of the world.
Nutrition built from 100% petroleum byproducts and designed
Nobody cares about Palantir or Pride.
for growing minds. Packed with protein, fiber, and 22 essential nutrients. Just unwrap, bite, and power through the day. Because learning takes energy.
Unlock your Ultra Patriotism with Ultra Patriot Alpha Vitality, the hyper testosterone formula that melts feelings and floods you with unfiltered freedom. One capsule and you'll bench press the Bill of Rights and howl the anthem at the moon.
At Grindset Immersion, we don't wait brand strategy.
Free.
Immigrant to take our social media and city data.
We have
Tired of losing every
King Grant.
opiate. They
Hey, he asked if you are a freak. No.
I gotta say, it's fantastic. Say that again? It's fantastic. Guys, I got it.
So, that's a taste of the types of goofy things that people be making with AI. Just straight up goofy, bro. And some people be coming up with some very crazy and creative ideas. And when you use AI for the right reasons, you can really make some crazy things. But when you just use it for all the wrong reasons, it's no. You know, it's like what Tate said. I seen the video from earlier. He was talking about how some people are born to lose because they sit around and make these stupid videos, whether it's their friends, whether it's other celebrities, or whatever the case may be. And they make these stupid videos and just to laugh at. And there's other people who actually make real content and are able to, you know, use that to get monetized on social media. I can't tell you the amount of abominable videos I've seen that people have made of Jake Paul using SORA AI. And it just, that goes to show you where these people's minds are. See, with AI now, with this SORA stuff, is going to really expose people. It's going to expose people in their mindsets, what they're thinking about, what they dream about, because they're going to make what they think. They're going to make what they dream about. They're going to make what they picture in their head. And a lot of people are picturing Jake Paul in a pink tutu, putting makeup on, or picturing him dressed up as a drag queen. And it's just like, bro, y'all sitting around thinking that it's funny, but you really the ones that they're exposing yourselves by making these videos, because this is what you think about. And y'all will always be forever just stuck in the gutter because that's what you think about. And it's just crazy. But yeah, man, with that being said, appreciate y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all share with your friends, your families, your mummies, your aunties, your grannies, and everybody else that y'all know. And I'm out of here, man. Deuces.